Namaskar. Yes, I realize that there is some irritating animation going on in the background, but keep that aside for the moment because there's a reason why I'm putting that. Some of the things that I'm going to talk about in this particular monologue have a lot of relevance because I've captured this in this book, which is about a year and a half old now. It's available in paperback in United States, and it's also available in ebook form throughout the world. And I urge each and every one of you to read this because I foresaw a lot of these things coming down the pipeline then itself. The first thing that has happened is that on the 7th of October, the United States passed a new export administration regulations that has had some very far-reaching effects. The US identified 3 or 4 key sectors as being critical for the future of technology and so on. And they said that you have to do this. And if you're not doing all these things, then you will lose your citizenship. In so many words, I'm going to give you the references in the form of links in the description. I urge each and every one of you to read these things because there's a lot to ponder over, a lot to muster. So what is happening now is that the fab manufacturing companies, the big 3 fab manufacturing companies, ASML, Applied Materials, and Lam Research, are more or less evacuating all their American citizens, green card holders, as well as anybody else who might have come from the United States, but perhaps maybe citizens of India, but they are on a special work release or some work visa or something like that. Everybody is headed home. That's what I hear. And the reason for all this is that the United States has deemed that China is copying a lot of stuff, and they need to make sure that China's semiconductor industry does not get the benefits of a lot of the stuff that is available. Basically, it's stealing. That's all I can tell you. If you look at Elmer's Hangouts or my previous Hangouts on semiconductors, I've told you what was happening, that technological claims by Chinese companies, they have equivalents of these big 3 fab manufacturers inside China, grossly exaggerated, that they had 7 nanometer technology, this. Now, the reality is out. The tide has gone out, and let's see how many people are actually wearing clothes. So what are the things that happen? The export administration regulations will create an effective embargo against providing China the technology, software, manufacturing equipment, and commodities that are used to make some advanced computing integrated circuits and supercomputers. This was the thrust of the new regulation that has come into play. They really don't want China to be getting anything. See, you have to remember that there was a report that came in, I think, a French website, that over 10,000 Chinese nationals were coerced, forced, abducted, kidnapped, ransomed, whatever being possible, outside the jurisdiction of law, outside the legal means, to force them to come back to China to work in Chinese companies. This has happened over a period of years. People say 10,000 is too small a number, but I have captured all this in my book, Who Painted My State Purple? And that's why I said that it is important for you to read this book to understand the complete effect of what is happening. In a way, I'm glad that Xi Jinping is coming back. He needs to enjoy the fruit of what he has done over the last 10 years. What this has meant is that all American workers quit their jobs and return to US or lose US citizenship. That's the only way I can put it. Strong wording. I mean, there may be ways to go and appeal it and so on and so forth. But I'm hearing that every American executive and engineer working in the semi-manufacturing industry has resigned. And right now, the semiconductor manufacturing technology has been completely paralyzed. Here is a statement from ASML. Again, this is as part of a thread that is given as a link. You can go and read it. It may be difficult for you to read the print here. Long story short, what has happened is that the US has really tightened the screws on China. China will be probably 10, 15, 20 years behind in technology once this completely starts following through. One thing that US is good at, once it passes a law, once it passes the regulation, it is very good at putting it into effect. Almost instantly, you will see everything shut down. I'm hearing that, you know, all the Lam research employees have already left for home. So these companies will find a way to use them somewhere else. Yes, it is a body blow. Without the fab manufacturing support, it is almost impossible to run the fabs. And China has probably invested billions of dollars, B as in boy, in their creating their own factory, the SMICs of the world, or the manufacturing of 3D NAND that YMTC was gloating about. 31 Chinese companies have been identified and saying that these are the ones that have been doing a lot of the stuff. So long story short, China's semiconductor program has been dealt a body blow. Likewise, the TSMC also has had some sanctions imposed on it, and their stock has fallen at least 10%. This is one of the top, I would say, top 15, 20 electronic engineering industry related stocks in the world, not just in Taiwan. And that probably is in portfolio of many people. Their portfolios are going to take a beating, but that will come back because TSMC, as we all know, is putting up fabs outside of Taiwan, perhaps in US. I don't know where else it's coming. I've heard stories about India being one of the destinations, but I don't know if the deal that Vedanta has done in along with I think Foxconn has TSMC also involved in it. Foxconn is a manufacturing company. They don't really have technology, although they may be taking some designs from the companies that they manufacture for and say, we will take the design, we'll enhance it, you just give us the specs, so we will do the design part also. People do that thing. Low-end stuff, nothing critical will be going to these things, but low-end stuff usually does. So we have to see this semiconductor fab in India is very, very critical for India's future also. Otherwise, you know, if the US can do it to the mighty Chinese, I mean, think about it. But again, it goes back to how aligned was India with the United States, whether India also is going to suffer because of these new export administration regulations, only time will tell. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and also click on the bell button for notifications. If you liked our research, if you like the content and the presentation, feel free to donate using the super thanks button. You can also donate using paypal.me/PGurus anywhere from anywhere in the world, and we'll be very appreciative of that. Also, do send in your comments on what you're seeing. If you have some relatives in anywhere in the world, we'll be interested to know what is happening around the world. Thank you very much. Namaskar.